welcome back. You enjoying that cup of tea?
But you know, the 11:40 cup of tea is best cup of tea of the day.
All I can hear in my ears is him go...
Well, it's more about...
Oh, no, right, OK, stop now,
But everyone at home, I bet everyone at home is having an 11:40 cup of tea at the moment.
They are, but I doubt they're making the noises to go with it.
Yes, they are.
Now, it's the show that can turn brilliant business ideas into multi-million-pound companies.
As Dragon's Den returns to our screens for its 21st series, can you believe it? We're joined by the one and only Touker Suleyman.
But just before we chat to him about this year's exciting entrepreneurs, here's a little look at the dragons in action.
So our forecast is that in 7 years' time...
How much?
In 7
years' time?
You've got to wait 7 years
6.
to...
Oh, my God. 7 years' time?
Can I finish? Is that OK?
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. No, we're standing here
Ball.
before you, and we got to profitability within 18 months. And we're selling these products because we are building an incredible community.
When do I get my money back?
I think the ultimate exit for this business will be in 6 years, but of course there'll be opportunities to make your money back through the great amounts of profit that we're making.
I'm not looking for 70 years down the road. You know? 3 years I could live with. 5, 7 years. So, for that reason, I'm out.
Oh, there he is in action, and Touker joins us now. Thank you for coming onto the sofa.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, do you know what? I've been watching the Dragon's Den. I think it's the best yet. I think the pitches are incredible. All your dragons, amazing. And this is your 9th series.
9th series, yes.
Can you remember when you first got the call to do it?
Yeah, I do remember. Through a PR company I was dealing with, and they said to me, they're looking for 3 new dragons. Would you like to go for an audition? I said, I'm never going to get... Yeah, so I said, why not? So I went for the audition, and it's fine. First time on TV, I'm not... And then I went away, heard nothing for a month, and then I got a call saying, would I go up to Manchester for lunch? I'm in London. Lunch? OK. So I arrived in Manchester. Steve Hadley, who was the producer there, looked at me and said, I want you. I thought, I want you on my show. You're going to be a dragon. And that was the beginning.
I like the way you had to pitch for it. There's a certain irony that you had to, face a TV dragon to get a TV job.
Do you know, at the time, I felt there must be auditioning 100 people. I'm just one of 100. So I didn't assume that I'd be offered the position of a dragon.
Do you know why I like you on it? Because obviously your success has mean you know what you're talking about, but, you know, you've had failings in the early years. You know what that's like to recover from failure and the learnings from failure. Talk to us about that.
Well, my business experience goes back 50 years. So I outdo all the other dragons as far as experience, of course. However, I started off in my 20s from being a garment manufacturer, and eventually, in my late 20s, by default, I became chairman of 2 public companies, unique in its day. The second company that I bought into, I did no due diligence. And net assets showed 22 million. We did a review after I invested. There were 12 million in the red. Lost everything. But best experience of my life.
Why?
Because I was young, I wasn't married, I was single, got myself up and said, I'm not giving up. I'm going to carry on. Started all over again.
So those fails have been like a learning curve for you, really? Yeah. Every single fail is a learn.
Look, there's no entrepreneur who hasn't failed.
OK.
And there's no entrepreneur who's a multi-skill entrepreneur who hasn't got a business that's in intensive care. You know, I've got one very close to here already. So the thing about failure is part of being an entrepreneur.
Yeah. Going back to the Dragon's Den, like I said, you know, I think it's the best series yet. I think it's brilliant. But what do you think people can expect from this series yourself? Well,
look, the BBC, your competitor, they've done an amazing job bringing in the different types of businesses that weren't there 9 years ago.
Yeah.
You've got a very varied amount of businesses. And, of course, we've now introduced guest dragons. We've had Emma and Gary on board, which has added a little bit of spice. We've had a new background, and I think we've got a good mix of dragons.
So this is Emma. This is Kim and Khloe Kardashian's business partner.
Yes.
And Gary Neville.
Yes.
Yeah. So she bought Good American and Skims to the Kardashians.
Correct.
And she comes from quite humble beginnings, which is nice, you know, to see as
from
a
London.
female. Yeah.
She's a lovely lady.
And she's built a multi-billion-pound business up like that.
Has she really?
Yeah,
Wow.
she's yeah, admirable.
What does Gary bring to it? Tight defence?
Do you know, I got to know Gary quite well. He's a very, very humble, nice guy. And he came across as wanting to do good for Manchester, because that's where he's from. And Gary actually is, I'm surprised he's got so many balls in the air. He's a real entrepreneur, although he's a football pundit, but Gary's great.
Yeah, a very successful media company
Yes.
Gary has, yeah.
What's been your most rewarding investment so far?
Well, rewarding as far as paper's concerned. I think the best pitch that I've ever had, which has been the most rewarding, was Jenna 8. This is where you give Jenna 8 permission to use your cookie and your data, and they sell that, and you get rewards back. So Peter and I invested 30,000 each for 5% each, which spared the company at 600,000. They just raised new finance at 30 million valuation.
Oh, nice.
So it's only on paper.
Yeah.
The thing about dragons, you do it because of passion. You do it because you want to give back. Yeah, you do it because you want to return on your investment. But
Is there any you're still kicking yourself about?
no, I don't kick about anything. Do you know why? If I did that, I'd be kicking about... For me, it's very much, how do I help entrepreneurs grow their businesses? You know? And whether it's in the den or outside the den, it's my passion to help people.
How often is it about the pitch or just you taking Stephen Bartlett down? Or Peter Jones down? I mean, the internal competition must be heavy.
No, look, we have a little expression. What happens in the den stays in the den, and what happens outside the den, we're all friends. As far as the den's concerned, if anybody says to me, he doesn't know anything, that's when I get upset. Because then I just say, I've got 50 years' experience and you've got 3. You tell me who's got more experience.
Do you hang out together outside?
Yes, of course.
Oh, you're all friends?
We're all friends. We go out for dinner every night. We have a chit-chat, and we all keep in touch.
OK, well, send some tip-offs our way, will you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we fancy a slice of the pie. You know what I mean?
Well, you never know. Never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
coming
so
on,
much.
Touker. Dragon's Den continues every Thursday night at 8 p.m. on BBC, and it is a fantastic series,
Thank you.
so well done,
I'll pass
you
it
guys.
on to the other dragons.
Yeah, please
Thank you
do,
very much.
Please do. So you can do it that way. You can do it the hard way. You can go to Dragon's Den, try and get investment. You can just win a competition. It's the easier route, Touker. Seriously, we'll sort the